Hello, people. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Good afternoon. We are back with some Arsenal talk and amazing news, finally. We are here to talk amazing news and something that we all been waiting for, and that was Arsenal has signed Noni Madueke. Sorry, Noni Madueke, no, I was joking about that. We finally have signed EZE. That is great. Hope I got you there, but that is simply great. If you ask me, well, we are currently on the menu for Rocket League because I've been copyrighted 2 times in a row for something that I didn't do, but the Premier League, they're just a bunch of fucking, assholes, and they want all the money they can, so basically, I got copyrighted talking about the United game, how bad we were, but I think all of that is just erased. Good news today, very good news, and that is the fact that we are looking at Arsenal Football Club finally being active on the market after a while and competing for signings that were almost our rival signings. It feels like a Sol Campbell type of thing. Just that EZE never got the Spurs shirt. It's just great. We have a here we go for EZE coming to Arsenal. All parties involved have agreed to the deal. Crystal Palace is waiting to receive 60 million. EZE preferred Arsenal over Spurs. Of course, we know he's an Arsenal fan. And it's so great to have those things. I'm gonna play a casual match just in case, but it has been so great, the fact that, well, we know the bad news, and I say bad news because it's never good to hear that one of your players is injured, but a lot of fans, including me, were worried about the squad depth, and Havertz got injured today. We don't know the issue, if it's going to be a long-term injury, short-term injury. The way that everyone report the injury looks like it's going to be a long-term injury, so it doesn't look great. And basically all the reports said that Arsenal were trying to get a striker, someone to come up front and help the team because Havertz was injured. That for me tells me that he's not going to be available for a long time. And well, if you want to challenge for the league, you have to have those type of players available, and Havertz's injury means that we're going to be short on strikers because Gabriel Jesus is not a player that is available at the moment. Havertz is injured, and we don't know if it's going to be an ACL injury. I saw some reports saying that it was going to be an ACL injury, which is worrying. And basically, we had no change for Gyökeres, other than we know Mikel Merino. For me, a better striker than a midfielder, so we had that option. The manager seems like he doesn't like it. He doesn't want to go that route again, so basically we got active in the market, and Andrea Verta, for what I saw on the Twitter reports and comments, posts, he basically took the phone, called Crystal Palace, called the EZE camp and told, we are going to sign the player. And basically EZE said to his camp that Arsenal was going to go for him and just to stop the negotiations with Spurs. For me, that means 2 things. It means that we are, well, finally competing in the market against possible players that rivals want, and possible direct oppositions that we are going to have during this season, because we know Spurs are running for the top 4. We look like we were running for a top 4 race, the way we handle the businesses and all the transfer situations, but with this we now look more serious, and it tells me that we did have the money at the start, unless we sell or we already sold someone, and we have to take a look at the agreement. Maybe it's gonna be payments. Well, how we're going to deal with the transfer with Crystal Palace. But the thing is, this tells me that we had the money all along, and we just didn't want to spend that, and we basically got into panic when Havertz got injured. So it was a bad news followed by a great news, which is EZE now signed. We know he's a left wing. He is also an attacking midfielder. We need an attacking midfielder. We need a left wing. And this tells me that with the Trossard signing that we also talk about, the fact that he got a pay rise, that doesn't make any sense to me. It now does, kind of, because it seems like we identified the issue and are now trying to fix it. What is the issue at the moment? That we don't have creativity. Victor Gyökeres was isolated throughout the whole game against United. He wasn't getting any service, and now with EZE, he's gonna get the service, and that is just amazing. Now the thing is he going to play left wing as well, or is he going to play mainly as a left wing? It can be a possibility. We know the favoritism the manager has over Martin Odegaard. He sees him as a guy that is going to take us forward, and maybe this means that Noni Madueke is going to play on the right to cover for Saka and take some minutes off. And almost got that save. But maybe it means that he's going to help Saka to just rest some minutes during the games, and we're going to use Noni on the left and keep Martin Odegaard on the middle of the pitch. It can be an other possibility. Sorry, got confused there. But this gives us like options. That's exactly what we need. We needed options, and that is a great option to have EZE that can play multiple positions. EZE is one of the players that if you look at him played on the wing or playing as an attacking midfielder, he always looked good in every position, and that is something that we need and really need to win the league. We need a guy that is truly versatile. He is truly versatile. He is a guy that no matter where he plays, left or center of the pitch, he is always going to deliver danger, and is going to be very good playing in those positions. So we are missing now, and that's a lot of people talking about it, a left wing. Why? Because we think as fans that the main guy in the middle of the pitch has to be EZE. What is the worry that I have? I think we need a striker, people. I think we need a striker because Kai Havertz, we don't know how tough that injury is at the moment, because there have been reports that supposedly it was an ACL injury. If it was, it's very worrying. And we're going to be with only one striker, which is Gyökeres. Maybe Mikel Merino, but it's not an answer for me. We need a striker. We need someone to cover for Gyökeres. We need someone to be fit, to be a second option than the one we already have, which was Gabriel Jesus, who is injured, and Havertz, who is also injured. For me, we need a striker. We need someone that is going to, same as Saka, get some minutes off and of Gyökeres and help him. We have to see how everything goes. I genuinely believe that we're going to be looking for a loan. That is the only option that I see at the moment, because of the amount of money we have spent this transfer window. It doesn't look like we are going to pay for more players, trying to buy players, at least not at the moment. Maybe a loan with an option to buy. That can be great. The other is we sell Martinelli, because I've seen reports here that Al Nassr wants Martinelli for 80 million. That is a great chance for us to sell 80 million. No one is going to give us that kind of money. Saudi League came knocking. Supposedly they want Martinelli for 80 million. I would personally sell him, because for me his best position is playing as a central striker, and the manager doesn't see it that way. He sees Martinelli as left winger. We are wasting potential on this guy, and we're not going to use him properly. He hasn't had a great season last season, and at the moment he doesn't look like he's going to get better. So the best option for me is to sell him and trying to get someone else. Who are those someone else? Rodrigo, Leao, or Lookman. That is everything we need to complete this transfer window. One of those three. Leao for me is the third option. Lookman for me is the second one. And Rodrigo is the first one. And I know some people have been saying that Rodrigo is basically bench player for Real Madrid. It don't matter. Arjen Robben was. Wesley Sneijder was. And they left Madrid and were amazing at their clubs. Real Madrid has some of the things, like you can be there and waste your career, or you can leave the club and revive it, and that's exactly what Rodrigo needs at the moment. He is a good player. He is exactly what we need to compete for the Champions League and the Premier League. And if we get a player like that on loan, it doesn't matter if it's on loan with an option to buy, on loan with no option to buy, it don't matter. The thing is, we need this guy to play for us, at least this season, or else Man City will try and get him, or other teams are going to try and get the guy, and he is the best winger available at the moment in the market. We need to have the best available players to compete for each competition that we're in, and that is how we're going to compete, by getting Rodrigo. So if Martinelli is not going to be a sell, it looks like maybe we are going to sell him, but some reports from unverified sources, so I'm not going to confirm it yet. The thing is, let me just check here on Twitter at the moment. Well, X. Let me just take a look at what Let me just take a look at this one. Sorry about that. I had it just right here, but let me watch the likes. Supposedly by David Ornstein, I don't think Arsenal looked at Rodrigo and had conversations internally, but that was quite a long time ago. I do think Arsenal, misread that. Supposedly Arsenal spoke about Rodrigo a long time ago. They supposedly as well, David Ornstein doesn't think that we are going to go for him. It's not one I know Arsenal to be working on. The last I heard, it's very likely he will stay at Madrid. Those are some of the reports at the moment, but as we know, everything can change in just seconds. Same happened for EZE. EZE was basically a Spurs player. We saw the Havertz injury and decided to go for him. That, for me, is exactly what you need to do for the season. Is exactly what you need to do as a big club. You go to one of the targets that one of your rivals is going to sign, and you basically take that away. And that's how, with that, I spoke about it yesterday. Unfortunately, the video got taken down because of copyright. But that is the ruthlessness I need this club to have every single time, so we can win titles, so we can at least compete. And We saw the Havertz injury. For me, Mikel Arteta was planning to play Havertz somewhere in the attacking and midfielder area, maybe. And when he saw the injury, decided, yeah, we need someone else. And Bertra just moved on and got Eze. Eze is better than what we have. He's better than Odegaard, better than Havertz. And he's exactly the type of guy we need to create more. It's amazing the fact that we took this player from Spurs. The guy was literally a Spurs player, and he stopped everything, came to us, which is just fantastic. Some of the things, supposedly Arsenal are not going for Leao, but we have seen reports about Martinelli maybe going out of the club, being sold, so we're going to need someone else. Maybe that is the reason why Mikel Arteta decided to stay with Trossard, and Vertra decided to do the pay rise. I genuinely believe the player didn't want to just stay there on the bench earning few money, which actually is great money, but we know how the players are. And we saw the direction that we was going to go, so they thought that no other players were going to be signed, and decided to give a pay rise to Trossard. For me, it doesn't look good. That is not a great alternative to have. Why? Because there is no extension. He's going to end his contract with us in 2027, which means he's going to go for free, and we're going to have him with a pay rise, which is money lost. I know he's experienced, but he's a guy that has won nothing for clubs. He didn't win at Brighton. He has not won here at Arsenal. So it made no sense to me. It looked to me like that was the guy that was going to stay at the club to cover for Martinelli. Now this changes, because we have Noni Madueke, we have Eze, we have Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, Reece Nelson, Ethan Guarnieri, 7 players that can play on the wing. Who are we going to sell? And for me, the selling point is going to be Martinelli, because he's the one that is going to give us more money. We don't want to get close to FFP rules and things like that. So Martinelli for 80 million makes sense to me. We have to see if this is going to happen. But I would rather him stay, so we can play him as an attacking, as a cover for Gyökeres, as a central striker. That is, whenever you see Martinelli play in the center, the type of runs he makes, the type of danger he brings, he is a striker, a center forward. And that would be, for me, the perfect replacement in a match for Gyökeres. 60th minute, Gyökeres hasn't been playing good. You give him 4 or 5 minutes more. At the 65th minute, you switch him, put Martinelli on. Because of his speed and strength, he's going to tear the defenders apart. So I would rather keep him to play there and cover for the Havertz spot, because Havertz is injured. We're going to have to see. But all the reports here at the moment that I've been looking at, it doesn't look like we're going to get anyone else. We're not interested in wingers. Basically, we got Eze, which is the type of player that we want at the club as fans. The guy that is going to give us creativity, ruthlessness, is going to give us an edge every time we attack. And we know the guy is also a goal scorer, so that is exactly what you need to win the league. And it looked to me like we are finally buying the correct players. Finally buying the guys that are going to take us forward and are going to improve the team. Eze is an improvement. Gyökeres is an improvement. And Subimendi, I think, is another type. I don't think he is an improvement on Partey, but he is another type of player that I'm hoping will get the speed and catch up with the Premier League fast, so we can have finally someone to pull the strings in the midfield area. and let Rice play kind of free, hopefully. So basically, those are the news at the moment. I'm happy with the signing. I think we are in a good path to compete for the league, to win the title, maybe make a good run, and hopefully get to a final of the Champions League. It's very good the fact that Vertra reacted to the injury quick enough and negotiated with EZE. Supposedly the negotiations were already accepted, but he just contacted the EZE camp. They stopped everything with Spurs and decided to come to Arsenal, which is great. It's definitely great. It's something that we need. We need to, in these type of scenarios, now that the window is still open, we need to react. We have to be reactionary, and that's exactly what we did. We have to move fast as a big club, as a club that is going to really challenge for the title, and that is exactly what we did. We saw an injury. We saw a guy that probably was going to play as a striker, was going to play as in the midfield area, probably to cover for Martin Odegaard, and we saw the injury. We know that it's going to be a bad injury, and we decided to just go for the guy. The main guy available at the moment, the guy that our rivals wanted, and basically took that away from him, paid the money, and we are done. We finally have made good business since the Gyökeres one. This for me is exciting, is great. I genuinely believe that EZE is going to unlock Gyökeres, which is a player that needs help. He is not a striker that is going to create his own goals. He needs help from the attacking players. He needs help from Martinelli, Saka, and in this moment, EZE. It's looking great. I'm really hoping to see the guy playing attacking midfielder. He is the type of player Gyökeres needs to score 20 goals or more per season. We're going to see how we do against Leeds United. And EZE is also a goal scorer. He's a guy that can create his own goal, and that is exactly what we're lacking at the moment. We lack someone to take the torch and just move on and try and score a goal, solo goal, or create a penalty or whatnot. That is exactly what EZE brings to the team. That is something that Saka lost and Martinelli lost, and hopefully the signing and EZE being in the team is going to spark and give that again to those two players I already mentioned. We need to be free attacking wise. Whenever we attack, we need to be free, to have that free flowing football which identifies Arsenal and has always been the way Arsenal play. And EZE is exactly the guy that you need to unlock that again and bring it back to the club. It's amazing. It's amazing. We're going to have to see what happens with Martinelli. With the EZE signing, I would stay with Martinelli. But if 80 million are on the line, he has to go. He has to go so we can buy better players available like Lukman Leao or Rodrigo. Rodrigo being for me the first option. If we do that, we are still short on strikers, centre forwards, because we just lost the two bench players on Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. But maybe we're going to go with Merino. I don't care if that happens, because Merino is a guy that is always at the right place in the right time and he's going to score. He is a natural goal scorer. Even though he's a midfielder, I genuinely believe he is a goal scorer. Every time last season he was there, he was dangerous. And we have to take advantage on that. If the guy is going to score and he's going to help us there, I don't mind that we got EZE, because we know Merino can cover those areas instead of Gyökeres. So I'm just looking for options. Of course, I want Gyökeres to play 90 minutes, but let's be realistic. We are human beings. They are human beings. They are going to feel that on their bodies playing 90 minutes every single week. And we need replacements. We need guys to take minutes off. It's great the fact that now Noni Madueke can play on the right because we have EZE. It's great that Odegaard can now rest because we have EZE. And it's great that EZE is going to be on the left wing probably. And we have Martinelli and Trossard there to cover. Attacking wise, there is depth. We just need to fix the issue, which is those two strikers injured, Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. But it's so great to see Arsenal finally reacting to those injuries with the transfer window open and bringing more danger, more attacking areas, like more attacking coverage. More attacking cover. It's just so great to see EZE back in, like, with us. And I'm very happy. For me, this is one of the best signings, him and Gyökeres, but I actually like EZE more because that is an area that we really lack. We lack creativity. We lack someone that is not afraid to play a pass, not afraid to take on players. And for me, EZE is going to tell the other guys on the front to run, to do something, to don't stay still. And that is something that I talked about yesterday. Most of our strikers, wingers, Saka, Martinelli, if you see them, they are still waiting for the ball to get to their feet. And they're not making the runs. They are not showing the attacking midfielder the option. Like, just run and play me the pass there. It doesn't look that way. We're not showing that on the wide areas because Saka and Martinelli are always standing still and they want the ball to their feet. With this, I believe we're not going to see that anymore. We're going to see Martinelli running, EZE running, Saka running, Gyökeres running, and the team not being afraid to play a pass like that. So those are great news. We're going to have to see how the injury situation goes because as well we saw a report here. I'm not going to show Twitter or X because I've been copyrighted twice in 2 days, last 2 days that I uploaded a live and a video. Supposedly Ben White got injured, Norgard as well, with Havertz. We're going to have to see how the squad depth goes in those areas. Like, having Ben White injured is not great. Having Norgard injured is not great. So we'll have to see how the transfer window goes. But the transfer window at the moment for us is looking great. This improves the team, definitely. This looks like we are trying to really challenge and show every single team that we are serious. It's just great, and hopefully we are going to see Arsenal make some movements. If Ben White is injured, I'm hoping that we're gonna bring new players like academy players on to assist. And if we're not gonna go for a striker, maybe work for a loan, like a Rodrigo on loan, Leao on loan, Lookman maybe. But we have to improve the left side. I have no idea what the manager is going to do, if he's going to play EZE on the left or the attacking midfield area or both. If that's the case, I would still look into bring Rodrigo in so we can have a proper attacking team. Rodrigo, EZE, Saka, Gyökeres, that would be great. And I'm not taking a dig at Martinelli nor Martin Odegaard, but those are two guys that we need to move on. And I'm not talking about maybe selling them. I'm talking about them being off the bench players. I don't think Martin Odegaard is going to be benched because he's a favorite of the manager. He's the captain. Maybe EZE is going to be on the left. But still, if we are serious about winning titles, we have to be ruthless. And it don't matter how much we have on the attack. Rodrigo is a guy that improves the attack a lot more. And that is something we need to win the league. The rest, I'm just hoping Maguire is okay. I'm hoping Norgard will get back. And hopefully we are going to have a great season now that we look more serious in the transfer window. Now that we have a player that is going to be able to unlock the abilities that we lost on the attack. So with that, I'm just going to say I'm very happy. Great news. It's amazing that we took the player Spurs wanted away and we made it our own. It helps the fact that he's an Arsenal fan. It helps the fact that as an Arsenal fan you do not want to play for Spurs, and literally we just saw it. It has been great, people. It has been great. Amazing news today. Had an awful day today and literally that made me very happy. It's great to see that we are looking serious, and that is something that we cried for year after year, and now we have 7 players in and 2 amazing improvements. We need one more, just one more. I'm just hoping we get Rodrigo or Leao or Lookman, even if it's on loan. It don't matter, just try and get them, because those guys will really improve us even more, and it's going to bring us more option and a lot of firepower coming off the bench, which is exactly what we need to win games. Defensively, we're going to have to see if Kivior goes, how Van White progresses with the injuries. Hopefully Calafiori is going to be available throughout the season. If that happens, it's going to be great because we're going to have depth. And I'm really hoping for Norgard to be back. With that, people, I'm just going to say bye. Thank you all for hearing out. And hope you have a great day. As much as I do, every Arsenal fan, be happy. Because those are things, great things that came to us today. And great news. Amazing that we are looking serious now. As a seriously big club that wants to win trophies. So with that, people, I'm gonna go.